CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products such as our can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com.
And now.
All right, everybody, we are back. Monday. It's Monday. Hey, Marianne, how are you? Good to see you. Pernell, good to see you. Chicago Pops. Kristen, how are you? Lori, good to see you. Political, how are you? How are you? Good morning, everybody. Catherine, hello. How's everybody doing? Barbara, good to see you. Erickson, good to see you as well. Seems like a long time. Alita, how are you? Seems like it was forever. And I was only out on Friday. Joe Higg, how are you? Good morning from the state of Texas. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Hey, Grant, if you could, go ahead and share this, please. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Share this. Invite your followers. Julia, good to see you. And I'll go ahead and read a quick psalm for you. Psalm 36. An oracle within my heart concerning the transgression of the wicked. There is no fear of God before his eyes, for he flatters himself in his own eyes, when he finds out his iniquity and when he hates. The words of his mouth are wickedness and deceit. He has ceased to be wise and to do good. He devises wickedness on his bed. He sets himself in a way that is not good. He does not abhor evil. Your mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the great mountains. Your judgments are a great deep, O Lord. You preserve man and beast. How precious is your loving kindness, O God. Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of your wings. They are abundantly satisfied with the fullness of your house. And give them drink from the river of your pleasures. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. O continue your loving kindness to those who know you, and your righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked drive me away. There the workers of iniquity have fallen. They have been cast down and are not able to rise. Psalm 36. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting your followers and retweeting. Hey, Spencer, good morning. Karen, good to see you. Hey, Josette, good to see you. Thank you. I try to curl my hair every day, but, some days are better than the others. Did you watch Rev Z? Did he really get arrested? Oh, my gosh. Well, he was tempting the powers that be last night, so I'm not surprised. I don't know if everybody was watching. Hey, Nancy, good morning. I don't know if everybody was watching. Good morning, Ron, the great state of Kid Rock, Michigan. United we stand. Psalm 118:8 is the exact center of the Bible and the center of God's will for our lives. Psalm chapter 118, verse 8. Last night, I was watching as this guy named Reb Z, who is a Periscope guy, and he goes out, and he's a very left-wing Periscope guy, I should tell you. He was filming St. Louis, the peaceful protests last night. And they kept telling people to leave. Yeah, they kept telling people to leave, get out of here. And they kept just staying there and sort of getting themselves in the mix of things. And he was one of them. He was bragging all night that he came around the corner and they were trying to shoot him with, rubber bullets and tear gas and all that. And he's one that kind of tries to tell the police, you can't use tear gas, his thing is, I know he's not fake news, Christian. He's actually a guy that is out there on the scene. Hey, Shauna, the only fake about him is that he's so left wing, he doesn't realize that what he's saying is garbage. When he talks about, was he scoping when he got arrested, Lori? I think that's what they're saying. He got his face pushed into the concrete by the police. Yeah, he basically, they told everybody to get out and leave. And he was standing there with his little camera, and he's like, I'm the press, I'm the press. Well, he's not press. He's with, Periscope. He does his own Periscope. But he's not the press. Hey, Janine. And so he was telling the police that. And apparently he knows the police. And some of them he likes and some of them he doesn't like. And he was calling out to them and kind of saying, telling them what they could and couldn't do. He also believes that police are not allowed to use tear gas on you until they tell you they're going to use tear gas on you. And I guess ask your permission. I'm not sure. This is coming from a pastor out of his own mouth. Oh, that's what a pastor said? I'm depressed? That's weird. You can rewatch it on Periscope. Yeah, and again, he's also one that says that the riot police cause riots. So, yeah, depressed or oppressed. It said depressed. Whoever wrote that, I don't know if he said oppressed or not. Don't gas me, bro. I know, Cully. Is he a pastor? No. Rev Z is not a pastor. He's just some young guy that scopes, and he does a good job scoping. But it's funny because in a way he tries to come across as a really tough guy, like I'm fighting for the cause and all that. And then when it really starts to go down, it's like, oh my gosh, don't hurt me. What do we do? Right, and he won't scope the people breaking the windows and stuff. Hey, Clint, good morning. Thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah, he wants to pretend that, everything that's going, thank you, Kristen, everything that's going on the left is really good. Everything that's going on with the police is really bad. He won't film those people who are breaking windows and everything else. New cry by the left will be, don't gas me, bro. I know, Chicago Pops. Dumb enough to taunt the cops, you're dumb enough to get what they put on you, Spencer said. Yeah, he flips off the police. I mean, come on. And they kept saying, well, where do we go? But, you have all these people, once again, out in the middle of the street. You're not allowed to be out in the middle of the street. Earlier in the day, they were laying down in the middle of the street. So, and blocking the cars, of course. And then they got mad at one car that was a what do you call it? Like a police car, but it wasn't designated as a police car. And that car the crowd started coming towards that car. And so the car backed out, and they were mad because somebody almost got run over. So they were really upset about that. It was an unmarked police car. So I guess the police were supposed to just sit there and be hit with, whatever. Because people had, they had clubs, they had other things that they were coming after people for. So anyway, so how is everybody today on Periscope? You're silent today. Is it frozen or are you guys still there? Because you're not, I don't see your, oh, there you go. It's a street. Yeah, it's a street, Barbara. A local KC news station flew over this AM and they're still standing, hands up in the middle of the street. Yep. Tired Monday. Still here. We can see that we have somebody who can't be blocked. They were doing that last night as well. It's unbelievable how they take time to do that. But anyway, trolls are awake. Yeah, it's Monday. They've been up all night. They haven't gone to bed. I was making coffee in here now. Cop said last night, whose streets? Yeah, the cops are. Oh, good, Cully. Thank you. The people were 11 police officers got injured. I think they said they arrested about 80. What was it? 80 people were arrested last night. I know, Nancy. I'm going to get to that in a minute. California just is ridiculous. Josette said, remember when POTUS tweeted about possibility that Scotland Yard may know about the 18-year-old they have in custody 2 weeks ago? It was said that they questioned him and let him go. POTUS was right. Yep. Which London, Luke, we're speaking about a lot of topics about the news. I watched fake news yesterday, Meet the Press. They were spinning Trump's Chuck and Nancy deal. Yeah. That's why I don't watch it. You know it's fake news. Uh, let's see if we can get rid of this guy. Huh? He must work for Twitter, or he works for somebody important. Everybody goes, yeah. And what was so sad about St. Louis too was the fact that on Saturday windows were broken and people were still sitting there in front of the windows having lunch as if everything was normal. You know that they're just having lunch, and oh yeah, don't worry about the boarded up window behind us. We're enjoying our lunch. Windows at the mayor's home. Yep, they attacked the mayor's home. It was pretty bad. Just on that guy, if you would, that S Morning 199, please keep blocking him and reporting him. He is causing a lot of trouble in the scope this morning. St. Louis is under a Democrat mayor. Yeah, MSM attempting to shake the base. Did you see how one reporter, they surrounded this one reporter and they were just screaming at him right in his face? I mean, it was pretty bad. And they were just, I mean, they were yelling at him, and somebody had to come in and help get him away. It's the people who come in from out of the town who do the damage. Yeah, they're saying that they get paid to do that, and they're, hey, mighty blessed one, and they're getting paid to come in and cause all the damage. And the people of St. Louis are kind of in some ways they're not for this. On this guy right here, the S Morning 199, everybody please report that person. Please just keep blocking him because he is absolutely messing with the... yeah, I know. That it is strange, Shauna. I don't know what that is, but if you guys just keep blocking him and reporting him, that would be great. Hey, Amanda, good to see you. Now, as we all know, President Trump this morning, he spoke about the reform for the UN. Every time I click on him, it says, sorry, you've encountered a problem, a loading error, please try again. So obviously he's either connected with Twitter, Periscope, or has some deal where it's hard to block him. But if you just keep blocking him, perhaps they will get him out. Yeah. The governor has them on standby. Mayor is a former SEAL. Wow. Is that true, Barbara? And the mayor in St. Louis, that's amazing. They come in through Twitter. I know, LA Child is ridiculous. Yeah, he's still there, Barbara. But if you see him again, if you could. And if you would, please share this. Because we had a lot of trolls that came in. And so if you could share this with your followers and just share it in general. I agree. Watch UN speech tomorrow. It will be significant. Thank you, Kristen. Maybe block's not working. Then again, Twitter allowing conservatives to be harassed. Exactly. Did you watch the rally? I watched some of it. I didn't watch a lot of it. How about you guys? Did you watch it? Yeah, it was. I noticed that that was the mother of all rallies. Seems like it was a very peaceful rally for the parts that I saw. Josette was saying when black people kill blacks in Chicago, where are the protesters? Yeah, there are none. Never saw anything as stupid as those. What was it? Jugalos, I think is what they were called. It went to party and it was great. Political said, oh, watch the one, everyone having fun. Yep. Just reported as abuse and Periscope blocked it. Good. Tiki, hopefully. That was amazing, that person. They let BLM talk. It was good. Huh. Yeah, I didn't see that part. Everyone was getting along. It is good when they can come together and talk and people actually listen to each other. A few Antifa came in and they ran them off and police escorted them out. Good. Very good. It's what they need to keep doing. This morning, President Trump was speaking about reforming the UN, and I think China and Russia were the only two that weren't there, I believe. But everybody else, felt that was there, at least clapped when he was talking, felt it was a good idea to try to reform the UN so it's more, get everything in line so that it's more for the people, that it's done correctly. The UN is probably the most ineffective organization ever. They surrounded the fast and chanted USA and scared them. So everybody saw in Dallas how they brought down, why not China? They hate Trump, yes. Well, they don't want the UN reform. We give $8 billion a year to the UN. Did you know that? Thank you, Barbara, for the super hearts. I mean, can you believe that? $8 billion. What we could do with $8 billion. Sandy, we could help the homeless. I mean, that's one thing. Yeah, I know. We could stop it. San Diego now has such a bad problem with hepatitis A and the homeless people that they're having to put in porta potties. Yep, what do we get for it? Absolutely nothing. We get trouble from the UN. That's what we get. We could build a wall. Yeah, New England. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Hey, Laura, good to see you. Don't think that's going to happen, but yes, that would be great. Just reading an article on Emmy, sounds like it was a total hate program against the president. That's what I thought. I heard too. And also, they had Sean Spicer on there who kind of got into it with them and went along with them as well. Robert said the wall won't work. I think he was just teasing about that wall, but the wall with the southern borders, they have proven that where there are walls, it does work on the southern border. For the people who are down there guarding the southern border, that's what they say. I know, Barbara. Bye-bye. So, yeah, Dallas, for those of you who are in Dallas or in Texas who are disappointed, the Dallas Independent School District has begun discussing renaming schools that have some sort of Confederate tie. Dolly Parton going along with such liberal garbage. I know, political. Hey, Helen. Yes, it works. We like walls in Texas, Barbara said. So there are about 21 different schools that have been identified. I know the Sean Spicer Parity Act is great. Thank you, Erickson. The majority of illegals are visa overstayers, Robert said. No more Dolly for me. Instead of hello, Dolly, it's goodbye, Dolly. Hey, Hugh, good morning. Thank you for the compliment. Glad you made it. I haven't seen Gary this morning. I don't know, you Canadians, what's up with that? Identified as what? Identified as schools that are connected to the Confederacy in some way, and they're going to change the names of the schools. People were protesting baseball because it discriminated a century ago. Where does it end? It doesn't. It doesn't end. Yeah, it's not going to end. It is going to be, Confederate. There was even a bull or something. Something was wrong with the bull. They didn't like the bull in one location, and they threw paint on the bull. And Christopher Columbus, they tried to destroy that. I mean, you name it. It doesn't matter. When you're that angry, you don't care. You just destroy anything. It is getting out of hand, Catherine. It really is, and it needs to be stopped. And what's going on right now in St. Louis? I mean, the minute they step into the street is the minute they ought to be arrested. Texas is bending. Yes, Texas is bending. They do need to be arrested. Quit watching Hollywood, and our award show is supposed to celebrate, not be SNL episode. Exactly, Tiki. I didn't watch it at all. People do need to grow up, but hey, Danielle, people aren't going to grow up until they know that there is some type of repercussion, some type of consequence for their actions. And, under Obama, there weren't any consequences, and now we're starting to see some consequences, and they don't understand it. Again, it's like the guy who sat there and said riot police cause riots. Well, there wouldn't be riot police if you weren't out in the middle of the street or breaking windows or trying to hurt people. I never watched Change Name, and they would still be miserable and find something to piss and moan about, Laura said. Yes, absolutely they will. It will never stop. Got to be something. Dallas is a sanctuary city. It's starting to look like it. California, the state of California, is now a sanctuary state. They decided over the weekend where California was going to be a sanctuary state, not going to allow the police to connect with the feds. I'm French, and I think the USA is a young country. You don't be enough cultivated. Time to move. I know. Why not vote to the people? How can they do that? Because they're mostly Democrat. I think we still need Governor Brown's signature. And do you think he won't give it, Nancy? I mean, I don't know. The North never got over winning the war, Spencer said. Miserable losers will always be miserable. We need real enforcement. We do. We need the National Guard to come in, whatever. I know. Let's sell California to Mexico and use money for two walls. Tiki said, Cali won't get federal money. Probably not. But although they're trying to stop that right now from the sanctuary city grants that are being taken away, they're suing for that. Susan, please leave Cali before it falls into the sea. I know, Hugh. Gosh, I really want to. Let's take over Mexico and Baja. Well, we had it at one point. We gave it up. Oh, God, really, geez, what a shame. Yeah, California is a huge economy. Yes, it is. I'm in California, no voting for this. I know, Lisa, we didn't get a vote. We'll go to SCOTUS. It will be upheld. I hope so. I hope it'll be upheld that it will be upheld to be that it's unconstitutional. The Iranian army chief said, this is in Iran, said we will turn Tel Aviv and Haifa into dust. That's according to the Jerusalem Post. I know, isn't it a shame that you have to wear your Trump T-shirt or anything underneath your clothing? I mean, come on, Letha. Should be a free country where people are allowed to do things like that without fear of being hit. I know. Don't want to be beaten for loving your president. I get it, Kristen. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. It's insane. No, it's not free when you can't walk down the street with a MAGA hat on or a T-shirt on with Donald Trump without fear of getting hurt. Hey, Frankie, good to see you. As long as it's not, something that's profanity or whatever. Hey, Gary. There's Gary. They want to destroy Israel with lightning speed, according to the Iran army chief. You know, the people that we gave all the money back to under Obama. I can't see pride in my president without getting slack. How long till the acid attacks come to America? Yeah, you've heard about that. 4 women who were in France were attacked by acid, although they did say that they felt that woman who attacked them had... Why do we care about Israel? Robert, I think you're in the wrong scope. They said the 4 women that were attacked, the woman who attacked them may have had psychiatric issues, mental health issues, and 2 women were attacked by the acid, and 2 missed, she missed them, but they were really shaken up, of course. I know. Thanks, Obama, for everything with Iran. Yep. So I can't even imagine what those women, what they're feeling now, the ones in France, what they're going through. California is digging themselves deeper and deeper into madness. Yes, Josette, they are. They are the racist, fascists, and more if they prevent free speech. Yes. Absolutely. I don't know if you have seen a periscoper by the name of Johnny Benitez. I saw he was on this weekend. I kind of went in for a couple of minutes and saw him. Apparently, he's part of America First. I don't know if you remember the big rally that they had in Laguna Beach. It didn't go so well. We need to cut off California, let them fend for themselves if they won't follow the law. We support Israel because it's good. That's right, Kristen. But they want to have he wants to have 2 more rallies in Laguna Beach. Last month, it drew more than 2,300 protesters. And I don't know if you know about Laguna Beach. It's a very small town. It's kind of 1 lane in, 1 lane out. So when you have that many people who are kind of taking to the streets, it's not a good thing. It's kind of a very dangerous thing. It's bad for the businesses. It's bad if something goes wrong. I don't know why they want to have a rally there, but they do. They want to have 2 more rallies. The Bible says we should support Israel. That's right, Barbara. That's the biggest reason of all. They're right after, let's see, September 24th and October 22nd are when the rallies. Oh, Beck, it's good for the economy if the streets and the buildings don't get torn down and the windows don't get broken out. Then it's good for the economy. So September 24th, October 22nd, immediately there was an ordinance put in place to prevent items being used as weapons. So you're not allowed to come in there even with mace. They're not allowing you to come with that, or bats, or a flag on a stick, that type of thing. Anything that can be used with a weapon, you're not going to be allowed to bring it in there. Hey, Don, good to see you. So it would be better probably to have it in a bigger arena, a bigger forum. Given 5 days to transfer a domain or register. What? Did you hear Gab was given 5 days to transfer the domain or register? What is that all about, Shauna? I mean, that is what? Tell us a little bit more about that, Shauna. How about masks or bandanas? Well, I think in H-Man in California, you're not allowed to be in public with a mask on like that anyway. That's something that I think they tried to enforce in Berkeley finally, but I don't think you can wear a mask in public unless you're a child and it's Halloween, So we'll see how that goes. Again, I really wish they would have that in a bigger space. God will support the USA if we stand with Israel. If not, we will not stand. Events show that. Yes. And I think, I don't know about you guys, but it's becoming clearer and clearer to me that the gift that God gave us all of discernment really needs to be used now. A lot of things that people are being sort of coaxed into, talked into, whatever, a lot of people who are ignoring the signs need to start using discernment and start waking up. I know politics and news, everything like that is important, but without God, there is no politics, there is no news, and none of it matters. Mostly what I do when I look at politics and I look at news, I do it so you can see sort of like the signs of the Bible, the signs of the times, and to tell you what's happening, to show you that we're getting closer, to God's return. And this, you can tell that by the quickening of everything that's happening. But a lot of people are just focused on the Republican Party, or just focused on news, just focused on politics. And if you don't focus on God first, none of this is going to matter one bit. Nothing is going to, you can talk about bringing America first and bringing MAGA and all that, but without God, none of that other stuff is even important. False prophets and leaders, you will know them by their fruit. Absolutely. Barbara, true. Danielle, great reminder. The Asia Registry legal team, Aussie company, says transfer Gab or they'll seize it. Unbelievable. I don't know what Gab's going to do. I know Gab is suing Google. Is this in retaliation? Emmys last night were for black women, LGBT, and Trump dish. Yeah, political. I guess that's, it was the left takeover. Hey, Robert, good to see you. There were some rumors that the Trump administration would sign the Paris Climate Accord, but he came out afterwards and said they still plan to withdraw. So again, fake news coming out there. Don said he was a juggalo, now he's a terrorist. You're funny, Don. Says they breached terms and conditions. Wow. Unbelievable. Gab suing because Google took their app out of Google Store. Yep. Thanks for the flowers, Robert. Yeah, Gab, I mean, look at, Gab is getting, they weren't bothered too much by Gab until they started getting some money and they started getting some followers and it started to look like they may be a serious threat. And so now look at what's happening to them. Immediately being attacked, immediately being tried to shut down in different ways. Taking the app away from them by, with Google, Apple not allowing them to have an app at all. And now this, what Shauna's reporting about, that's crazy. Hey, Justice, good to see you. That domain was not registered with them. Obama handed dictatorship of the world's domain naming service over to the UN. Great, Spencer said. Amazon deleting negative reviews of Hillary's book. Yeah, I heard that they deleted about 900 reviews. Yet Gab said they would not censor anything. Is that the problem? Probably, Barbara. They don't like the fact that there's no censorship on Gab. I have seen more and more people on Facebook who are unable to share their posts, even though they put them in on public. You know, you can do that at public, and so they're not able to share. The way you know that is the share button is completely gone. Yes, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, yes. Did you see Justice Janine? I did not. That right, Apostle Paul said, if we have to be like the sons of Issachar, discerning the correct times and seasons. I find a lot like that. I know. Amanda, that, and I didn't used to see that. She ripped Hillary. Oh, wow. She doesn't like Hillary at all. I thought Monopoly was illegal in the U.S. It is. Twitter, Facebook, Google, Catherine, they all are. Judge is also always awesome. They said Gab violates Australian federal and state anti-discrimination laws. Yes. Yeah, the social media, I mean, for conservatives, getting less and less. It is such BS. For the record of your troll, I know it goes up and down, Barbara. It really does. The Hurricane Maria is now a Category 3 hurricane, and it looks like it could threaten Puerto Rico. So that Maria is building quickly here, and we have to see if it's where it's going to go. Pull out. We should all vote. You know, I guess. I mean, I don't. Facebook business page is all BS. Yeah. I watched a documentary one time, Robert, about like if you sign and you pay $5 to have something boosted on have dropped by for yeah, I know, Barbara. If you have something boosted on Facebook, that goes to people that, I mean, all over the world, and usually they're really crappy sites that they go to. They're calling Gab discriminatory and hateful. Seriously? Think it not? I know. Hillary was on The View. Boy, she was treated like royalty. Of course, just that, because they're just like her. They love her. Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. You know, again, it looked like Gab was the best thing that we could use as conservatives. And now, quickly, they're trying to shut it down. And again, if Australia, why is it they're just now coming out against Gab? Why weren't they coming out against them before? Why just now? Now that they have the money, now that they've gotten support, now they're coming out and saying, we're going to shut you down. If you guys would please retweet this, we're at the halfway point if you would. Yes, you have to know how to tell Facebook the demographics you want, and that takes time and know-how. Yep, it does. Otherwise, I mean, you're wasting your money is what they say. Thank you, Robert, for inviting people. Thank you, Shauna, for retweeting. Thank you, everybody, for retweeting this. Retweeting. Laura, I do see inappropriate rants on Gab, but free speech is free. Is speak freely. You know, and Nancy, and the thing of it is, all that people have to do is just self-censor. If you don't like what somebody is saying on there, just absolutely mute them or censor them. That's all you have to do. Wow, Catherine. There you go. Catherine is unable to share what we're doing today on Facebook Live. You can block on Gab. That's right. Hillary is on The View. Yeah. You know, the thing of it is, it's that thing where it's big government, right? Where Big Brother has to tell you what's good for you or not good for you. So you're not allowed to self-censor. They'll do it for you because you're not smart enough to do it for yourself. You need government to take care of you. And that's kind of what they do. At least not breaking stuff and terrorizing. There you go. Good point. I'm afraid the USA internet will be completely censored in 20 years. Political, you're probably right. I'd like to see it, but honestly, the stuff people say is way over the top. Yeah. But I see that on Twitter, Nancy, and the fact that I was able on Twitter to see what I saw that day, I mean, I'm still in shock from what I saw on Twitter. Pornographic times 10 that I saw on Twitter. Same as Periscope. Why not hit block if you don't want it like it, or stay in a scope? I know, free country leave. Well, thank you, sweetheart. Yeah. So, I mean, unbelievable. Another thing with Trump and Israel, he told Jewish leaders on Friday, I guess he was meeting with them somewhere in Washington or New Jersey, that he plans to go after anti-Semitism. So that's good. I wish that he would just go after anything that's illegal. I found something, too, that I wanted to read to you. Now, this was in a China website, okay? It says the United Nations recently passed its strongest sanctions yet against North Korea. But critics have expressed doubts as to whether the sanctions would stop North Korea from developing nuclear weapons. Now, this Chinese website said, here's 8 reasons why the sanctions won't work. This is, again, I haven't found this anywhere. Facebook no longer letting shares in. Wow. Number 1. Here's why the sanctions against North Korea won't work. Swapping goods. North Korea directly exchanges its coal and other minerals for the goods it needs, such as weapons, components, and even luxury items. This avoids the risk of money transfers being traced. So that's pretty important. So they can swap goods and kind of get around the sanctions. Number 2, smuggling. Smugglers from other countries, such as China, turn off their ships' transponders when entering North Korean waters, then take North Korean goods to another country, including Russia. They then claim the goods were made in Russia. Number 2, okay? Number 3, falsifying shipping registration documents. North Korea has registered an unusually large number of ships, including many foreign-owned vessels, as part of its domestic fleet. It also listed 18 of the 21 vessels in its Ocean Maritime Management Company as domestic ships, even though some enter international waters. So that's number 3. And number 4, overseas workers and projects help fund weapons program. So almost 100,000 North Koreans work around the world, generating about $500 million in U.S. money for the dictator's regime. So, I mean, okay, there are 4 reasons why those sanctions aren't going to work and why we eventually may have to go in and do something. So, do you want to hear the other 4? I don't want to bore you with these, but I thought that was really important. Hey, Antonio. So they are faking purposes of the ship. Yes, and they're getting away with it because nobody's calling them on it. It's very important. So here's number 5. Modifying equipment free of embargo for military use. North Korea displayed missiles at a huge parade held in April. Video and photographs of the trucks used to transport the missile had the word Sinotruk, Sinotruk logo on the fuel tank. At an earlier military parade in October 2 years ago, the same logo was on there. So they modify the equipment to make it look like that it's not what it really is. Number 6, there are front companies. North Korea companies set up bank accounts for front companies overseas to place their earnings in. And number 7, diplomatic cover. North Korea uses its diplomats overseas to open multiple bank accounts. Sometimes they are in their own names, family members, or front companies. And number 8, arms sales. North Korea continues to sell arms and provide military training overseas despite UN embargoes. It is particularly active in Africa and the Middle East. That's nothing you're going to hear on our MSM or any station in America. You're not going to hear this information. I think this is very important, for all those people who say we don't want to get involved, we don't want to go to North Korea, we don't want to get in another war. They're not hearing all of this. They're not hearing all the underlying reason. Yes, the people not only are they very poor, Barbara, those people are slaves. They have to worship this guy. They have to do exactly what they're told. They have no freedom whatsoever. I know, we're getting close. I think so, Chicago Pops. We're getting close to military action. No wonder China president isn't attending UN meeting. People are accustomed to believing North Koreans are only in North Korea. Exactly, Nancy. Very dangerous to turn maritime AIS transponders off. Yep. But, I mean, you can see people are benefiting. Russia's benefiting. China's benefiting. Iran's benefiting. It's sad that thugs from different countries work together. I know, Antonio. It is really ridiculous. But see, not knowing the underlying, these 8 underlying things that we're saying here, you'd think, well, gosh, why don't we just ask North Korea not to do what they're doing? They're doing what they're doing because they have a lot to lose if they don't continue being who they are and growing in power. So, I mean, there you go. Anyway, that was, if you're interested, if you want to go see that, let me see if I wrote that down. That was the South China Morning Post. Is what is causing maritime crashes? They are turning off things. Could be. Could very well be. North Korea was tricked into believing they were players in the global regime, Nancy said. Trump called Kim Rocket Man. I know, Marianne. I heard that over the weekend. It's hilarious. So in other news, did anybody hear about Hobby Lobby? Hobby Lobby was in the news. So anybody who's been in Hobby Lobby, you know that there's things that you can buy in Hobby Lobby to, for your hobby, right? That includes just about everything. Also, they have things like vases, glass vases. No, they're not closing, Antonio. That was a lie. That's fake news. What happened was they put this little cotton plant, if you want to call it that, into a glass vase. And this woman went in and saw it and got so incensed and went and put it on social media. It says, this decor is wrong on so many levels. There is nothing decorative about raw cotton, a commodity which was gained at the expense of African American slaves. They are Christian, Antonio. So now you're not allowed to have any type of raw cotton or anything like that on display. I know, it was in a vase, and it was like tucked back in a shelf. I know, Lori, crazy. Hey, Bill, good to see you. No, she can't shop someplace else, and she wouldn't be able to complain. I know, Ben. She wants to feel triggered, stick the case. Yep. It was crazy. It's like, okay, just look away. I mean, that they've been selling that forever. So my next question is, are you still allowed to wear a cotton shirt? Society going crazy, Chicago? I think they're kind of more on the already crazy sign in a lot of ways. Yeah, buy more cotton. People just looking for a lawsuit, yes. Looking for money. Well, looking to have something to put on social media. Again, be a deceiver. Bring up lies. Try to, convince people there's a problem when there isn't one. Aren't tampons cotton? I have no idea. Could be made out of some form of cotton. Who knows? But I guess you're not going to be allowed to wear a cotton t-shirt because that can be offensive, or a cotton shirt of any kind. I personally don't wear cotton shirts just because you have to iron them. But cotton t-shirts I do wear, I have to admit. Don't say that. They'll hear you and ban cotton. I know, Catherine. I think it's a little bit too late, though, because they're already over the deep end, and anything that I say is not going to make a difference with that. This is so cotton picking stupid, Mary Ann said. And a white cotton shirt is a no-no. Well, and this was white cotton plant, so 2 strikes. And it was in Hobby Lobby, so that's actually 3 because it's a Christian store. I know. Sad. Exactly. What's this person's name? I don't know. You can see the article. I think it was on the Blaze and elsewhere. It is unbelievable, Robert. Cotton panties are racist. Yep. Shouldn't black Americans be proud of the country they helped form? I don't know, Nancy. I guess you'd have to ask them. I do not understand. We produce cotton in the USA. Well, I guess we need to stop that then, Barbara. I also found something on globalization today. The New Morning Consult. Now, I've never heard of this poll, but it's for Bloomberg. So, stop getting those cotton panties in an uproar. That's right. They said that 47% of Americans support globalization, compared with 25% who dislike it. 36% of Americans believe that globalization will help create jobs, as opposed to only 23% who believe that it will not. A majority of Americans support immigration, according to this poll, but 51% also believe immigration poses a threat to jobs. Really? How did you figure that out? I know. Furthermore, 23% of respondents feel income inequality will not increase as a result of globalization, as opposed to 22% who believe it will. Another conflicting detail is that Americans now feel less safe than they did 5 years ago. Now, Shauna and the other person who mentioned that, yeah, the polls, it's from Bloomberg, so I don't put any credence in it. However, here's the point that I kind of want to make for you, is that if you see polls like this and they're talking about globalization in a positive light, this is where our country is going. This is where they want you to go. This is where they want you to believe that people are on board for globalization. I missed the first part. Did you mention anything about Handmaid's Tale winning last night? No. So liberal and such a bad plot in respect to USA. I didn't mention that, Bill. So again, they want you to be comfortable, start being comfortable with globalization. Obama wants to be king of the world. Could possibly be. Oh, really? Ugh. I haven't watched that show. Don't intend to. Somebody said it was soft porn. Many people have no idea what globalization is or what it will do. That's true, Julia, and that's part of the problem. And it's like part of the problem where we have the youth today, millennials, who weren't born, or like were very young age in 2001 at 9/11. They don't know the freedoms that they've given up because they've never known the freedoms that you and I have had. Globalization is not the way the world works unless you let it work that way. We're not an open borders country, although the globalists are leading us to do that. Some good news. A Maryland abortion clinic, one of only 3 in the country still providing late-term abortion, plans to close its doors. Well, Robert, it can be stopped when God returns, but yeah. Plans to close its doors. It's under contract to be purchased by an anti-abortion group that has worked for many years to shut it down, according to an official with the Maryland Coalition for Life. So that's good news. I know, Bill. Who would watch that crud? So, and of course, there was only one mainstream news outlet that reported on that. It was the Washington Post, and it's slated to close this fall. The Handmaid's Tale, Shauna. Yesterday, 4 jets scrambled live over Puget Sound. Nobody knows why. God has a preferred economic system. God doesn't have an economic system. Not educated or low information person. Yeah. So let's see. Iran, according to Russian news site, one of Iran's top commanders is claiming the country possesses the father of all bombs, referring to a bomb more powerful than the U.S.'s most powerful non-nuclear bomb. So, did anybody care about that? That Iran may have the father of all bombs. And who can we say thank you to that again? Once again, thank you, Obama. Yeah, if it's true, then, so what? Robert, Robert, are you taking chill pills this morning? Is that what it is? No, no, no. Do not allow the U.S. Navy that out of these collisions over AIS transporters being turned off. Our 7th Fleet sailors are being worked so hard they are sleepwalking. Spencer said. Russia made that bomb. Could have been, and Russia got the money, I'm sure, from Iran because they had the money to give. Yeah, hopefully just that. That would be nice. A single bomb has little strategic value. Well, they didn't say they just had one bomb. They circled and shook our house, Ben said. That's pretty odd, Ben. Did anybody hear about the man who is the scout for Narcos, which I don't watch Narcos, but it's on Netflix? Did you hear what happened to him? Clinton and Obama turned America backwards, and don't forget Hillary. And we sold Russia the uranium. It's... Yeah, he basically, a scout, Carlos Munoz Portal, was shot to death in central Mexico Monday while scouting for season 4 of Netflix's hit show Narcos. He was shot and killed because his body and car were found in a remote area near San Bartolo Octopan, near the borders of Hidalgo state. His body was riddled with bullets. According to local reports, police believe the car may have been involved in some kind of chase. He was out taking pictures because, he wanted to find some place that they could go shoot the next season. And they probably thought that he was trying to turn them in or whatever. And so they shot and killed him. Yep, thought he was kind of, cartel killed him. Yeah. So one other reason perhaps to have a border wall to keep people like that out. Yeah, probably stumbled into a place he didn't know where he was going, Barbara. And I think, he was by himself. And so probably looked very suspicious to these people. Yeah, no kidding, Robert. It's like, very terrible. Yep. I watched Border Wars. I think I spelled that wrong. Yeah. It's okay, Ron. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I'd recommend people watch Narcos. You may have to check it out, Lori. Did they catch the people? I doubt it, Robert. Who's gonna tell on them, right? No, you can't go out there alone, and Barbara, you shouldn't go out there at all. I don't care if you take an army with you. Let's see. Talking about special counsel Robert Mueller now. He's hired Kyle Freeney, a former Department of Justice lawyer who specializes in money laundering, for the ongoing investigation into potential ties between President Trump's campaign and Russia, according to a new report. This person is yet another Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama donor and has been picked to work on special counsel's team for Russian investigators. And the Republicans are saying, once again, nothing about it. According to documents maintained by the Federal Election Commission, Freeney has donated in each of the past 3 presidential elections to Democratic nominees. Nobody cares, right? Can't anybody stop Mueller? Yes, they can, but they're not going to. Paul Manafort may be going to jail, but doesn't mean anything about Trump. A Clinton supporter, probably Ron, and obviously Obama and Clinton. Hillary Clinton. For 7 months in 2011, Freeney worked as an attorney in the Obama White House on security clearance issues. Is President Trump softening on the Paris Accord? Bill, he's saying that was a rumor that came out saying that on the Paris Accord that he was softening on it, but he's saying they still intend to withdraw. No, I'm not shy. So disappointed in Sessions, Amanda said. Well, again, he recused himself, and that's, a debate of whether or not he should have recused himself. I haven't heard anything about Paul Manafort going to jail. Is that true? No, Tricky Rick. They're just honing in on Paul Manafort and Flynn. That seems to be the two people that they really want to go after. And so, they'll try everything that they can. What does Chick-fil-A employees have in common with Kaepernick? They both don't work on Sundays. But you know what? The Chick-fil-A people, the employees there that don't work on Sundays, at least during the rest of the week, they are a lot better than Kaepernick is as a quarterback. How's that? At least the employees know how to do their jobs. Flynn needs money as his legal bills are very high. Yes, Flynn's running out of money because of the high legal bills. Yeah. How much is Mueller getting from the taxpayers? A lot. He is the first, followed by Flynn, his son, then Jared. Don't know about that. Am I a politic woman? I'm talking politics and news. Now, mandatory days off make regular work days more productive, Nancy said. Also, another thing in California last night, and again, as always, when you see this happening in California, look for it to happen in other Democrat states. The lower house of the California legislature wants to force President Trump to publicly apologize to all Americans for his racist and bigoted behavior after his comments regarding both sides being to blame for the violence that killed one woman during a rally in Charlottesville. So, yeah, New York is next. California can't let it go. Both sides, not good enough. We have to specifically and only say white supremacists and not say that anybody else was involved. They don't have any power to make Trump do that, and he's not going to do that. They need to apologize for being idiots, Amanda said. Well, Amanda, in order to apologize for being an idiot, you have to understand that you are one, and they don't get that, unfortunately. And the measure urges other state legislatures to join in condemning Trump, who was widely criticized for suggesting that the violence response of Antifa and Black Lives Matter group were just as much to blame. Duh, they were. I didn't realize Cap was a Christian and converted to Islam. Yeah, Bill, when he found his Islamic girlfriend. I'm a few months away from getting out of California. Can't wait. Oh, Christy. Take some of us with you. Session needs to go. Yesterday's thinking will do nothing for today's problems. Well, thank you, Lou. Will Trump run as an independent next? Why would he? As you know, he's going to be speaking tomorrow, President Trump, in front of the UN, and so is Netanyahu. And Netanyahu is already there, and then President Trump was I think he's going to be meeting with him at some time today, which is going to be great. And I'm sure his speech tomorrow is going to be great. Yeah, Kaepernick, I have no idea what Kaepernick's thing is. Yeah, he's a Republican, Robert. Trump speaks tomorrow at the UN. Yes, Jamie, he does. I'm going to okay. All right, thanks, Amanda. I look forward to getting that. Tillerson said they are evaluating the Cuban embassy, and it may be closed down. I think at this time they want to maybe close it down permanently. No, I don't think so, Robert. In fact, I think they took their heightened alert and they've lowered it back down. Article in Tech Pages, people in California are now looking for jobs in Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Indiana. Wow. We should pull out of the UN. We should also tell them to get out of New York. Trump is going to tell the world you're on your own, Jamie said. That was a fake news even there. About the alert. See, the White House on Saturday denied multiple reports that the United States may not withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement. Sarah Sanders came out and said, our position on the Paris Agreement has not changed. And he said Donald Trump has been clear the U.S. is withdrawing unless we get pro-America terms. Kaepernick went to football games to play politics. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the UN, thanks, Bill. UN is crazy. Thanks, Lou. If we pull out of the UN, it would collapse. Well, and if we didn't pay them $8 billion a year, they would collapse too. I see nothing wrong with Trump's thoughts on that. I know, I know. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. If you would please share this and retweet this, I would really appreciate it. It was great to be back with you on Monday. So glad to be here. Glad you were here, more importantly. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate it. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow, same time. Bless you too, Antonio. God bless everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Thanks, Robert. Thank you, guys. Blessings to everybody. Thank you, guys, on YouTube. Please share this. We'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.